Hello, candidates, and welcome to the lesson. We are continuing with the subject strategic management. Today, our focus is on diversification and performance. In this lesson, we will study the different types of diversification and how these types of diversification impact on performance. In other words, we'll be looking at the performance outcomes of different types of diversification. And we recall, candidates, that in our last session we did define corporate strategy as encompassing a company's overall direction and scope. It also includes decisions about which markets or industries to compete in. That's corporate strategy. And diversification is a strategic tool which involves expanding into new areas, either related areas or unrelated to the core business. So a company can expand its operations into areas that are similar to what the company is doing, or areas that are totally new or unrelated. And such a decision carries both potential benefits and also risks directly impacting on a company's performance. That's why today we are studying diversification and performance. But before we get into the complex relationship between diversification and performance, it's important for us to understand the different types of diversification. Let's first analyze the types of diversification, and at the back of your mind have it that the meaning of diversification simply means expanding into new areas. All right, to diversify from the perspective of a strategic management is to expand into new areas. So what are the types of diversification? Types of diversification. Diversification strategies are classified based on how the new business fits with the existing one. If you are to diversify into a new business, how does it fit into the existing business? The types, that is how the diversification is classified. How does the new business fit into the existing business? The choice of strategy directly influences the performance outcomes. That's what we've said. Specifically, whether the company achieves a diversification premium, which is also known as increased value, or a company suffers what we call conglomerate discount. Conglomerate discount is simply decreased value. Then we have diversification premium, which means increased value. So diversification can either lead to increased value or decreased value. And the first type of classification is related diversification. Right? Related. We said it could be related or unrelated. So we have what we call related diversification. One type is related diversification. Related diversification. What does it mean? Now, here the firm enters into a new business that has meaningful commonalities with the existing business. A new business that is similar to the existing business. A new business that has related features with the new business. That is related diversification with the current business. Meaningful commonalities with the current business. For example, it could be shared technology, shared distribution channels, or shared customers, and so on. Related diversification. So what is the performance outcome? Performance outcome. If a company decides to diversify in related areas or industries, what will be the performance outcome? How will the company perform? Now, generally, candidates, there will be high performance. Generally, high. The performance will be generally high. And this kind of diversification is considered a sweet spot because the firm can leverage existing core competencies, right? The company can take advantage of the existing core competencies when diversifying in related areas. So generally, the performance will be high. Understand? Yes. Then number 2, we have unrelated diversification. Unrelated, as the name suggests, here the firm enters an industry with no obvious strategic or operational similarities or connection to its existing business. And the focus here is on simply on financial synergy. Here the company focuses on financial synergy. The first one could be operational synergy, right? Operational synergy, but the second one is just financial synergy. The corporate parent acts as an internal bank, moving cash from mature units to higher growth ones. You understand? When a company diversifies in unrelated industries, it does so in order to achieve financial synergy. And the parent, the one that is investing, it acts like a bank or a source of finances to the new units. So what will the performance outcome? What will the performance outcome? Here it is generally low. There will be generally lower performance. Generally lower performance. The performance is generally low, and the reason is obvious because in developed markets, we know firms often trade at a conglomerate discount because they are too complex to manage and they may lack operational synergy. If a company invests in unrelated industries, the current managers may not have experience in the new industries. So managing such diversification can be very complex and challenging, leading to lower performance. There may also be no operational similarities between these businesses. So the performance is generally low. All right? Yeah. Then number 3, we have horizontal diversification. Horizontal diversification. The firm adds a new product or products or services that are technologically unrelated to its current products, but appeal to the current customer base. Horizontal. Okay. The products are not here. The products are technologically unrelated. The products of the parent company and the new units are technologically unrelated, but they appeal to both existing clients. You understand? Yes, that is horizontal. And the mechanism here is to leverage customer loyalty and brand strength. So what will be the performance outcome? What do you think candidates will be the performance outcome? Here the performance outcome will be relatively stable. Stable growth. Because you see here, the company is leveraging on the current customer base. You have a customer base, you've been supplying those who are loyal. Then for example, if you are running gym services, you have a gym where you have clients who come to the gym, but besides the gym, you can open a shop where you sell drugs. Okay, so that is an example of horizontal diversification. So the firm will experience a stable growth, because as opposed to having diversifying in a totally unrelated industry, here there is some level of commonality in terms of the current customer base. Understand? The growth is relatively stable because it increases share of the wallet from current customers, but can increase risk if that specific customer segment experiences a downturn. And I've given an example of a gym selling, say, protein powder to its members. So that's horizontal diversification. Number 4, there is what we call vertical diversification. Vertical diversification, on the other hand, is where the firm moves to a different stage of its own supply chain. It could be backward into raw materials or forward into distribution. So if you have a chain of supply, for example, here you have the raw materials. The firm operates here as a manufacturer. There is the raw materials, and there is selling or distribution. If you have a company that manufactures, say, books, to publish books. To publish books, you need raw materials like paper. So you have suppliers of raw material for publishing of books. For this company that manufactures books, that publishes books, may choose to acquire a company that supplies the raw materials for books. So what we are calling backward diversification. Or it could be forward diversification, where this company, instead of selling to wholesalers or distributors, this manufacturing firm can open books across the country and distribute the books without the help of the wholesalers or retailers. So this is forward diversification. So that's a vertical. It may be back into the raw materials, it will be forward into distribution, right, into retail. So here the focus is mainly on operational control and cost reduction, and the outcome is generally mixed. The outcome here is mixed. Okay, for vertical integration, performance outcome. The performance outcome, we can say performance outcome is just mixed. Vertical integration can increase or improve margins and quality control because the company has control over the raw materials. It can improve the quality of raw materials, and definitely, ultimately, the quality of the product, final product, may be improved. You understand? But it can significantly increase fixed costs. The fixed costs can increase significantly, thereby reducing the firm's flexibility to switch technologies. If you've been leasing or hiring or depending on other people to run a business in terms of supplying, then it means if you're acquiring say a company that distributes raw materials, then you are also in a way inheriting fixed cost of this company, as opposed to when you could just get materials only, but you have to increase operational costs and so on. So the performance here could be mixed. It could work for the company, but it could also, there are also risks associated with the vertical diversification. So performance is mixed. You understand? Yes. So the relationship between diversification and performance, you can see, is not linear. In fact, research has shown that the relationship between diversification and performance is curvilinear. It's not linear, but curvilinear. Understand? Yes. Where moderate diversification can lead to improved performance, but excessive diversification can be counterproductive. It can lead to negative effects. It can negatively impact performance. And that's the end of our today's lesson on diversification and performance. In this lesson, we've defined what diversification is. We first defined what corporate strategy is. That is diversification. We say diversification means extending the company's operations or investing in new areas, either related or unrelated to the core business. And the decision we've seen can carry both potential benefits and risks, directly impacting performance. Then we've gone ahead in this lesson to analyze the 4 types of diversification and how these types of diversification impact on performance. So that's the end of the lesson. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Below this video, we have a comment section where you can post your questions and we will address all your questions. For now, bye-bye.